Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our TNA show for the week. First off, we're going to start off with the so-so portions. They weren't bad, they weren't good, they were just there. First one we have is Magnus versus Matt Hardy. Had the potential to be good, it just kind of fell flat to me. Hardy picking up the win. I kind of thought that Magnus should have wanted to. Nothing against Matt Hardy. I think he's been doing excellent work as of late. But I think the marginalization of Magnus is really disappointing. I think he's someone that really could have been a main player in the company that's kind of been pushed into the background. Next up, we have Ethan Carter III debuting his new bodyguard, Tyrus, who looked very familiar, looked like a certain Funkadactyl named Brodus Clay. I have nothing against them bringing Brodus in. I have nothing against that. I think it's going to be hard to take Brodus Clay seriously after 2 years of dancing and goofiness in the WWE. I think it's going to be hard to make him a monster, even though if you look at the guy, he's a monster. He's like 6'8", 350 pounds. I met the guy. I'm a large man. I'm 5'11", probably about 330, 340. And he made me look like a little kid. I think it's going to be too hard of a... I think for most wrestling fans, it's going to be too fast of a convergence from the goofy dancing dinosaur to the serious bodyguard. EC3 talks trash about Bully Ray, which brings out his brother Devon. Before Devon could get to the ring, he gets attacked by Bram. So potentially we're seeing Bram being brought into the EC3 fold, maybe feuding with Devon. We go to commercial after that. They come right back with Tyrus, which is Brodus Clay versus Shark Boy. The only thing I thought was funny was Simon Diamond, a.k.a. Pat Kinney, waking up Shark Boy in the back or getting him off the couch from eating donuts. I thought that was funny. Come to the match. Match didn't really do anything for me. I mean, it was just silly. It was stupid. Wasn't fun at all. Now going from that, we're going to go into our bad portion of the night. The only one thing I really disliked was the match of Jesse Goddard, Z-Man, and Angelina Love versus the Menagerie. I didn't get it. These guys are in an on-again, off-again feud. I think it's basically they don't know what to do with either squad. The Menagerie, I think they totally dropped the ball off. It could have been so much better than what it is. DJ ZZ Mayan, I don't know why he's being used as an afterthought. He's a tremendous wrestler. Jesse and Robbie, the Bromans, I think are a good team. Angelina Love's one of the top women's talent in the company. This match just didn't do anything at all for me. Two groups who are going absolutely nowhere. The Menagerie pick up the win. It just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Is all I could say. That's why it falls in the bad portion. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go into our question of the week. Now, the question of the week last week was, if you remember, what was your favorite Taz moment? Got some answers from our friends, and then we'll go into mine. The first is from Joseph Hatcher. My favorite Taz moment is ECW One Night Stand when he faced Jerry the King Lawler to see which brand was better, Raw or ECW. I think he was defending the name of ECW because Jerry the King Lawler was heel and he made fun of it. I thought it was entertaining to see Taz come back for being an announcer. Cool moment. Lots of backstory with Lawler and ECW. When the original ECW was around, he was a guy that when they did the cross promotion with WWE was anti-ECW. So there's some backstory behind that as well, which made it even cooler, in my opinion. Next up was from our friend Offspring Al. My favorite Taz moment is at Royal Rumble 2001, where he entered the Rumble only to be eliminated by Kane seconds later. It was funny because his music was playing still was playing after he was eliminated. A good moment. I thought it was cool and fun. I always liked Kane in the Royal Rumble. That's interesting. Kind of had the Bushwhacker treatment. If you remember, the Bushwhackers would do their thing coming to the Rumble, and as soon as they go in the rope, someone will throw them out, and then they just go to the back doing it and not stop. Kind of similar way there. Next up, and last but not least, is our friend Benjamin Mean 19. Hey Heel Heat, my favorite memory of Taz is his WWE debut at Royal Rumble 2000. He beat an undefeated Kurt Angle, and the reaction he got from MSG crowd that night was awesome. I didn't know who he was until that night, but I remember thinking that this guy was huge for a shorter guy. It's a shame that he couldn't have the in-ring career that I thought he could have. Very fair. He didn't quite get to the height he did in he should have probably got to in WWE, and he had neck issues that played into that. His height was an issue. There was a lot of things. The era that he was in, the roster was loaded with talent. My favorite personal Taz moment is Guilty as Charged 1998, or 99, I'm sorry. ECW Guilty as Charged 1999. I was there. Taz versus Shane Douglas. Taz finally wins the ECW World title after chasing it for such a long time, and chasing Shane specifically. It was a real good, feel-good moment for Taz. Probably the height of his career, in my opinion. The Kurt Angle match is probably my second favorite thing of Taz's career. Just the whole thing, finally he got to the top of ECW. Was a lot of fun. Another great one is the very first ECW pay-per-view, Barry Legal, Taz vs. Sabu. The payoff of an over a year feud where Taz could never get his hands on Sabu. Just awesome moments. Great wrestler, kind of underrated, kind of an afterthought in history. But a guy that maybe, if you're not too familiar with, and you have something like the WWE Network or even YouTube, look up some of his older stuff, specifically his ECW stuff, and you'll see just how good of a wrestler the guy that you hear on commentary every week really was. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go to our question of the week from this week, and it involves two of Taz's ECW brethren. We have Team 3D, aka the Dudley Boys, and the Legion of Doom. The two teams that everybody mentions as the top tag team of all time. What side of the fence do you sit on? Do you sit on the Dudley side? Do you sit on the Road Warrior side? Let us know what you think. Who's better? Who's the best tag team of all time? Is it the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Team 3D, the Dudley Boys? Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter. Put it down where? Down there in the comments. And moving on to the good portions of the night, the stuff I actually enjoyed on the show. First up, we have the opening segment with Kurt Angle bringing Bobby Lashley to the ring, explaining that what he did was wrong, costing Rude the title shot. But here's how he's going to determine the number one contender. It's a fatal four-way for later tonight with Eric Young, Jeff Hardy, Austin Aries, and Bobby Roode. Sets up an awesome match. Teased a little bit of tension between Angle and Lashley. I thought it was a good opener, a good way to get the show rolling, get us on our way. Next up, Madison Rayne versus Havoc. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love what they're doing with Havoc. I think they've struck gold with her. I think she's a one-of-a-kind talent. She's amazing in the ring. She's got an aura, a presence, kind of like someone they haven't had since Awesome Kong was there. Just a dominant woman's wrestler. I think it's great. I like what they're doing with her. I think her destroying people is amazing. I think she could be someone that brings a lot of eyes to the company, and I think it's just awesome what they're doing. And finally, the main event of the night, the four-way match, elimination style, Eric Young versus Jeff Hardy versus Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode. We see Young and Hardy get eliminated at the same time, leaving us Aries and Roode to finish out the match. Roode picks up the win with the Roode Bomb. Sets it all up for Roode versus Lashley somewhere down the road again. All four men end the show holding up their arms in pride. Nice way to open the show. Great way to end the show. Good bracketing of everything in between. Now we're going to go right into our ratings for the week. We have a 1 to 5 scale here, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. 1's a Dixie Carter, 2's a Rockstar Spud, 3's a Gunner, 4's a James Storm, and 5 is a Bobby Roode. I'm going to give the show a 3, a Gunner. There was a lot of listlessness, and I don't know where this fell in their TV taping schedule, but it kind of felt like it seems to be when the third or fourth show that's taped in one or 2 or 3 days, we get a listless, kind of aimless show, and this kind of felt like that. The surprise of Brodus Clay, aka Tyrus, is a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. I just, coming off of Bound for Glory, they probably should have done a little more, and they probably should have made it a live show coming off of Bound for Glory as well. But I'm not in charge of TNA, and probably never will be, so I don't get to make those decisions. But anyway, give the show a 3, gave it a Gunner. Thought it was okay, nothing great, nothing horrible. Basically was just there. But that's all I have to say about this one. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.